Hello. Đồ hay á. Món hay á. Second.
An additional visual upgrade such as a tweak to the
Yeah,
lighting
what's
model.
that?
It's exciting stuff indeed, but the real question is how close does the game actually come to hitting 60 frames per second to on or off? Xbox One consoles.
No.
We've got base hardware on the left and then of course the One X on the right, and we're using spectator artifacts across the textures on Xbox One X. Visible dip in resolution, extra volumetric stuff, perfect 60 frames per second with only occasional rare dips from time to time. Performance was previously very stable at 30 frames per second in this mode with the last patch, where we were looking at fixed resolutions, but it's impressive to see that the game actually runs very nicely at 60 frames per second here with minimal impact on performance. There's the occasional stutter of course, but again, it's not really an issue because it doesn't occur very often at all, and there's a feeling we're getting a nice, smooth gameplay experience pretty much end to end here. It really shows how well the dynamic resolution scale and temporal reconstruction actually works here. Image quality may take a large hit at points, so occasionally the game does come. So it's looking good for Fortnite running at 60 frames per second. But there's of course another question you'd probably want answering, and that's, is there any difference when switching between 60 FPS or 30 frames per second? Well, as you'd expect, image quality gets a boost simply because the dynamic resolution scaler is less aggressive, as the game is operating at 30 frames per second. But in terms of the overall visual quality levels, the main differences come in the form of higher resolution shadows with the 30 FPS cap turned on, along with the restoration of motion blur to the base consoles, PS4, Xbox One and Xbox One X per second here, but fell short in demanding scenes. So whenever there was a lot of these zombie creatures, our very good experience, very much compromised over the. And really the killer here is the use of dynamic resolution and the optimization from 60 frames per second using Unreal Engine 4 here. Well, that could potentially trickle down to other games in the future as well. After all, a lot of Epic's enhancements and
You ready up? No, you're not. Huh. I'm about to get rid of my PlayStation Pro. motion blur. I think I figured out that's what's been killing me. Someone's coming at me. Whatever. He does. Do you? I wonder if I actually have motion blur. I'm gonna check something. I am going to check.